What's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Stay2 video. And today we're talking about Last Wish weapons. Rivens wishes begin this week, meaning that you're going to be able to get some raid loot just by doing some of these wishes. You're going to be able to get some stuff from the Last Wish raid. So today we're going over some of the weapons, just to kind of let you know what are the things that you should be looking for, the weapons that you should be going for, what are the best, what are the good, what are the bad, and just pretty much everything in between. Without wasting more time, let's get into it, and let's start with the must-haves. And we can't really talk about Last Wish must-haves without mentioning the one and only, the rocket, the Apex Predator. The Apex, it's pretty much the meta rocket right now. I mean, it's been the meta rocket since it came out pretty much. It has some fantastic perks. It can be good in many different situations. You can put a lot of different perks for, whatever you're doing, whether it's running Grandmasters and like running gunning with the rocket, or DPSing raid bosses. The Apex has some good perks for it. For boss damage, we have bait and switch, a 35% damage increase. It's fantastic, it's very consistent. You can proc bait and switch very easily and then just go off with the rocket. So bait and switch, it's going to be like your go-to damage perk when really DPSing with the Apex. It's fantastic. Bait and switch is definitely the best perk. The other damage perks around it, it's a little bit more niche. You can't really use it in every boss fight. You kind of have to be surrounded by ads. A 40% damage increase. Surrounded is just another fantastic perk to go for on the Apex for DPS. Now, if you're more into the run and gunning, going through GMs, shooting some champions a couple times, then moving on, and shooting other enemies, then I would recommend perks like Bipod and Explosive Light. They're both fantastic for that. This season I've been using Explosive Light quite a lot for the GMs. You break the shield, or if you're dealing with Overload champions, you shouldn't even have to do anything. Use Fiery Rocket, and one rocket with Explosive Light sometimes almost like enough to one-shot a champion. It is insane. I really like Explosive Light, and in GMs there's usually a bunch of orbs to go around, so you always have this thing ready to like use the choice of champions when you need it. Bipod is a similar story. Two rockets usually do tons of damage to the champions, and if it's overloads, that's pretty much a guaranteed kill. So these two are fantastic for more activities where you're not really DPSing all the time. I would definitely recommend both Explosive Light and Bipod. This weapon can also get reconstruction, meaning that it not only auto reloads the weapon, but it also overflows the weapon. So that's fantastic. It'll put two rockets ready to go. You could also go with Demo. Demo's pretty good. If you have your grenades up quite often, you can go with Demo and just quickly reload your rocket that way. But yeah, that is the Apex. It has some fantastic perks. You won't regret getting the Apex. This is definitely like the must-have of the weapons. If you could only choose one of the Last Wish weapons, this would be the one to go for. Now moving on to the other, what I would consider must-have weapon, we have the Fusion Rifle, the Tachyon Force. This one is an adaptive frame, and it comes with, again, some pretty good perks for both PvP, PvE. This one actually works for both. For PvE, we have stuff like Control Burst, then we have Envious Assassin to overflow the magazine, get a bunch of shots in there, so we can go off with Control Burst. We also have Rewind Rounds, which is really gonna let us just go off with Control Burst. We're basically just trying to like get as many rounds in the magazine as we can, just so we can fire non-stop Control Burst. And this Fusion Rifle has a lot of things that let us do that. We just kind of get there different ways. We have Reconstruction, which overflows our magazine. We have Envious Assassin, which once again overflows our magazine. And then we have Rewind Rounds, which is going to put some rounds back into our magazine. So all the perks that I want to go for are just kind of like trying to increase the uptime where we have that Control Burst and we're just firing off the weapon. I really like Rewind Rounds Control Burst. All of these perks are fantastic. If we go Reconstruction, Rewind Rounds, Envious Assassin, they're all going to be fantastic perks for PvE. Just pair them up with Control Burst, and you're pretty much good to go. Now for Crucible, there's a perk combination that I really like, and it's Under Pressure High Impact Reserves. It makes this weapon feel fantastic. You get extra damage from high impact, you get the extra accuracy and the stability from under pressure. It just kind of works really well in the Crucible. It's a fantastic combo and makes this weapon feel really good. You could also go for some Kickstart, but I don't feel like Kickstart is as good as High Impact Reserves. So I would definitely go with like High Impact Reserves plus Under Pressure on this fusion rifle if you want to take it into the Crucible. So this fusion rifle is fantastic for both PP, PvE, you name it, it can do it. But for sure in PvE. Control Burst, it just feels amazing on this weapon. I would definitely recommend that you guys try out Control Burst on this one. It is just so good, and it puts in some pretty good damage. But now let's move on to the good. These are the weapons that are still fantastic and have some really good rolls. They're just not as good as, you know, the Rocket or the Fusion, but you should still definitely go for them if you can. And let's start off by talking with the Supremacy, and the Supremacy has a very fun perk combination that can make this thing fire for so long, and I'm sure you guys have seen some videos of it. You could go with rewind rounds with 4 times the charm, and if you have a divinity, you can shoot this thing for a pretty long time and actually do a pretty good amount of damage. Like, it's not bad damage at all. You just pretty much hold down the trigger and let this thing just go to work and just shoot for a ridiculous amount of time with 4 times the charm plus rewind rounds. So that is a pretty interesting PvE setup that you can take the Supremacy for as a nice like backup weapon to DPS. And that's pretty much the main reason I use the Supremacy. I have this role, I use it for some backup DPS, and like I said, it does some pretty good damage. It also comes with Kinetic Tremors, that's something that this weapon also gets, and it has some other good like PvP perks, like you could roll opening shot with snapshot on this one. So if that's something that you're into, this weapon has it. That roll actually makes this sniper feel really snappy. The only thing that I don't like about the sniper in Crucible is that you can't use one-shot supers because it's like a rapid fire frame. That's pretty much like my only complaint when it comes to the sniper rifle for like Crucible. But if you end up going for this one, definitely give the 4 times the charm rewind rounds combo a try. It's pretty nasty in PvE. The next weapon we're taking a look at is the HO Bond, and I really love this one for Void builds. If you are running a Void build, this can actually be a pretty good weapon for it. You can get a combination of these stabilizing rounds and repulsor brace in the primary, which is really nice. It's like a combo you don't see too often. And for Crucible, you got perks like Kill Clip, Tap the Trigger, Target Lock. It's just a pretty decent auto rifle. I would definitely recommend it. It's a 360, so it's a little slower, but I think it's still a really good feeling auto rifle that I would definitely recommend. If you're looking for an auto rifle, maybe give the HO Bond a try. Like I said, this is mostly for Void builds, so if you like running some PvE Void builds, this might be worth a try. Now let's move on to the Nation of the Beast, and this one's actually good for both PvP and PvE. In PvE, you have things like Dragonfly to do some AoE. You also have Bolt Shot on the other slot, so you can actually have Bolt Shot and Dragonfly at the same time for do some crazy AoE damage. You could also go with Bolt Shot and Explosive Payload, you know, for the extra damage from Explosive Payload, as well as the Ad Clear, potential Dragonfly. I would definitely go for some Bolt Shot Dragonfly. I just love seeing like the explosions and the Ad Clear. That's pretty much what I would go for if I was going for this in like PvE. For Crucible, we have things like Keep Away and Opening Shot, and they paired up very well with Explosive Payload. You can actually go Explosive Payload Opening or Explosive Payload Keep Away, and it makes this weapon feel pretty good. It might not be the best hand cannon, but it's definitely a pretty decent one. And you get a pretty good amount of range with Explosive Payload and Keep Away. So definitely very decent hand cannon with an amazing sight. This one's a good one. And the last weapon that I want to take a look at in the good category is the Pulse Rifle, the Shattering Bone. This one's mostly towards Crucible. You do have some perks like Kinetic Tremors that are good in PvE, but I think the majority of the perks are more like Crucible specific. You got things like Keep Away, Rapid Hit, Kill Clip, Under Pressure, Head Seeker, Rampage. Some good perk combinations that you can go for are like Head Seeker, Keep Away, Head Seeker, Rapid Hit. I think this would be like my favorite ones and the ones that feel the best. It also can get Kill Clip and Rampage, both of them at the same time. So you could actually go for like the ultimate damage perk combo. But that's pretty niche. That's only something fun that you can do on the side. You know, you want to really go all in on damage after getting kills. But yeah, it has some pretty good perks. Even stuff like Under Pressure, Head Seeker would probably be pretty good. So you have a lot of good perks on this Shattering Bone. And if the 450s ever become meta, this thing's gonna be a monster. But right now, it's just okay in the Crucible, but it feels really good. And lastly, we're gonna be taking a look at the last two weapons, the Scout and the Bow. And to be completely honest, I don't think that these weapons are actually bad. I don't think Last Wish has any bad weapons. They just don't really stand out too much or are niche like the Bow. So first of all, the Scout Rifle, the Transfiguration, well, it does have some, some pretty decent perks. You got stuff like Explosive Payload, Kinetic Tremors. You could even do that Rampage Kill Clip combo, like in the other one. Rewind rounds. But it is still a 150 Scout Rifle. And I just don't think that 150s are in a great spot right now if you're not, an exotic like Polaris. So that's why I'm not really spending too much time on the Scout Rifle. I just don't see it like standing out. Nothing that makes it special. It's just a regular 150 Scout Rifle with good perks though, but it's still just a 150 Scout Rifle. Now when it comes to the Bow, the Tyranny of Heaven, now this one I just put it more in the niche category because it's a bow. Not a lot of people use bows, but if you do like bows, I think are gonna like this one. This one has Incandescent and Dragonfly on different slots, so you could actually go Incandescent, Dragonfly, and just have tons of ad clear with this bow. It is also a solar bow, so it takes advantage of all the mods this season, so it makes it even better. So the bow is, again, not bad. It's just more of a niche weapon. If you like bows, you're gonna like this bow. If you don't like bows, it probably won't change your opinion on bows, and you're probably not gonna use it. So that's why it's here at the end of the video. And yeah, some of the other perks this bow has is that it has one throw, so you could possibly go Dragonfly one throw. But I just can't resist that Incandescent Dragonfly combo. Although you could also go for successful warm up Incandescent. But yeah, those are the weapons that I think that you should be going for with your tokens from the Rivens wishes. If you guys disagree or maybe bringing a different perspective on a weapon, definitely leave it down in the comments below. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Good luck getting your tokens. I saw some of those challenges, and some of them, well, not too difficult. They will take a little bit of time. That's for sure. I'll probably be doing mine on stream. So if you guys want to check out the stream, there'll be a link in the description. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.